Hey, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk again about the Colleen Ballinger situation, but more specifically, I want to talk about why it is important that we do have these conversations, because some people are like, people are talking about it way too much, it's blowing up, they're just profiting off of it. So I wanted to make a video on why I think this not only is such a hot topic, but that it's necessary to be talked about a lot. And what the reason I think this is so important, number one, is grooming is a very prevalent issue in our society, especially with the internet, because anybody can have access to communicating with children or other vulnerable people. But also, and I was talking with my mom about this today, but if you remember the film that I believe it came out in the early 2000s called The Lovely Bones, and it was based on a novel of the same name, and it basically was about a young girl who got unalived by her creepy neighbor. And this made me think about when we think of people that harm children, we think of these creepy men with these big glasses. I say as I'm wearing those big 70s style glasses, but with like these big glasses or those aviator glasses, and they have greasy hair, and they drive a beat up white truck, and they're offering children candy as they drive by. And sometimes the people that want to harm children or do harm children do fit that stereotype. Sometimes it is a sleazy guy driving a beat up truck who doesn't have a good job and isn't successful. But sometimes it's also a conventionally attractive, successful white woman like Colleen. And I think a lot of people that are defending Colleen, and I don't have proof of this, there's no way for me to have proof of this, but I believe that a lot of people are dealing with the cognitive dissonance of seeing someone who they would not expect to act like that, and then seeing those actions. So then people like Papa Gut can say things like, oh, she's just a silly goose, she's just stupid, she's just not thinking about what she's doing. But let's say if Colleen was like this middle-aged man who looked kind of creepy, would people be calling him a silly goose? And that's why also in my previous video I made the argument, like, if Colleen was a teacher, or like if she was working in some other type of capacity where she had access to children, would people still make the argument that it's not grooming? And sometimes I'm not sure, because I have heard of a lot of cases of young and attractive women who did that to young children, and the way that is portrayed is often different than George, stop. I'm sorry, my dog was biting my tripod. But that's often treated different than if it was a man doing it. And I do understand that women in our society are seen as more mild and meek, and we don't do those types of things. But that's not true. There are women like Brittany Zamora, who was a teacher who was caught sexting her middle school student. And I'm not saying Colleen did this, but what Colleen did was she did show Hannah McIntyre, Trisha Paytas's nudes. And while I'm not sure this is illegal, I do believe it's illegal to show a minor nudes. And if it's not illegal, it should be. My point is Colleen did this over years. It wasn't a one-time incident. It wasn't, oh, I made a mistake. I wasn't thinking. That was an oversight. An oversight is you send someone the wrong text. It isn't over like a decade of time, or even if it was just over 1 year, you showing this behavior, you having shows where you make suggestive comments with children on stage, or her videos with Jojo Siwa.
Stop! Don't look at her! Do not look at her that way!
Fetus!
She doesn't know what she's doing! She's a child! Don't do that, Jojo!
Fetus.
Jojo!
Okay.
You cannot do that!
Why not?
That will entice all the people! You cannot be twerking out the body like that.
Well,
You're popping the booty.
well, okay, should we call it something else? Is that the issue?
Here, I'll show you a gooder version of it. If you want to dance with your legs spread, you can do that. You just like, okay, well that's because you're wearing pants. Have you ever taken the pants off and seen what's inside?
In public, no. On the toilet, yes.
And?
In my own privacy, yes.
And?
So what a Jojo's juice is every week I film a video and then I pour juice on my head.
Why?
I'm gonna pour it on you.
No, you're not!
Yes, I am.
I don't want you to. I don't trust your juice.
Yes, I am.
I don't trust any of your juices, Jojo.
Rock, paper, scissors. If I win, I get to pour it on you. If you win, you get to pour it on you.
Don't trust your juices. I don't want your juices on me.
That was the rule. Come on.
Jojo, who's teaching you?
We'll do it on the kitty cat thing.
Who taught you that you can pour your juices on other people, Jojo?
You know?
That's not appropriate.
I'm not the lecturer.
Yes, you do. You're playing with handcuffs. You're twerking on other people.
I did not twerk on other.
Where she made jokes about Jojo being inappropriate, and she was the one telling her, oh, you can't dance like that, it's not appropriate. Like, she made those jokes for years, and not even just those jokes, but the way she interacted with Hannah McIntyre and the other kids that were in the group chat, the weenies. That's not a mistake. It's not an oopsie moment. That is a pattern of behavior. And that is why when people are like, oh, this is just cancel culture, she made a mistake, you don't understand her humor. No, you don't understand the implications of her actions and how this will affect Hannah McIntyre and the other kids for the rest of their lives. But also, you don't understand that this is a larger issue in society, and it shows how these people that are harming children are hiding in plain sight. And if we do not talk about this, it is going to continue, and the harm is going to continue. And this is not like the satanic panic, or it's not a witch hunt when there's proof someone did it. Even if you don't believe what Adam says, which I don't know how you wouldn't believe it, but just seeing how she acted publicly. I know Radiant Brit recently made a video about Colleen's friendship with Jojo Siwa. So even if you ignore all of the things that happened in private, the things she did in public are bad enough, and they need to be addressed and talked about. And as we speak, or at least as I'm filming this video, because I don't know when it's going to go up or if she's going to be on tour when it goes up, but Colleen is on tour right now, engaging in that same behavior where she has children go up on stage. Of course, I don't know every detail of her new canceled tour because I'm not going to see it. I'm not going to pay money to her, and I don't want to see it. But if it's anything like her previous shows and her previous tours, then she is continuing this behavior, and that needs to stop. And anybody defending her, take a step back and ask yourself if she didn't look like how she looked, or if she wasn't someone I'm a big fan of, would I still be defending these actions? That is my question for current fans of Colleen Ballinger that are defending her. And that is the end of this video. I hope you learned something or got something from this video. And if you did, please give it a big thumbs up. I know this is a weird thing for me to say. Please like this video, but not like this video because you enjoyed it, but because it is important to put it into the algorithm and to get it pushed out further. But thank you so much for watching, and if you'd like to see more of my content, please hit that subscribe button, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye!